I grew up in a town outside of New York City, and we had this great library that had a reading series that I would go to all the time, and these great carols in the back where you could sit and read books. And I remember every week my mom would take me, and I'd get to pick 2 more books to read for that week, and I just still remember that so fondly. Because having access to so many books and being able to explore and pick and meet other people who really care about books, it was incredibly influential. I have a couple of librarians that I love, and actually even in Los Angeles where I live now, we have a great local library about 10 blocks from my house, which I frequent often. Now I use the library more for work. I do some writing there, and also I do a lot of research there. So it's more work related. But when I was working on this book, The First Husband, I couldn't be in one of the towns where it takes place, and a librarian in Massachusetts helped me quite a bit. And with my last book, a librarian in Montauk helped me so much that I actually thanked her in the back of the book for all of her assistance. I'm always involved in fundraisers to try to help libraries and try to keep books and people's ability to have access to books and experience the joy they can bring into their lives. To do what we can to keep that alive, I think, is incredibly important. I am a big believer that no one should be the arbiter of what we're reading and what we're not reading. And one of the great things about libraries and librarians is that they can help you find whole genres that you wouldn't know that you're interested in. And if books are banned, if they're limited and taken away from the shelves, it limits their ability to help you find a book or an author that you're really going to love. My latest book is called The First Husband, and it is the result of a question I was wondering about, which is how do we not live our life in reaction? And it really focuses on making a lifelong commitment in a proactive way that we can feel great about it. In order to work on this book and write this book, I did a bunch of research about marriage and commitment and how we now, in a society that is more disposable, where things are always changing and we are always being forced to make lots of movement, figure out how to build something that is permanent, that takes work, and that's sort of what the book focuses on.